Hi, this is 365801 and this is another reading vlog, buddy reading vlog for Love Stage. So yeah, this is, I just realized it's the 21st. I didn't realize, I was like, oh, I definitely have a reading buddy read coming up with Katie over on Twitter. And oh, it's like the third week, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to think about doing my reading wrap up for the third week, and I was like, hold on, when are we supposed to start this? It's the 21st, and I was like, I know it's the 21st because it's a Pian Pian day, and I've already read my Pian Pian episode, but here it is. This is my Love Stage set. As you can see, 5 is still in plastic. I have not actually read all of this before, other than in Japanese, because I was collecting it in Japan and I was reading it on Tray Tray or CL, whichever one it was being published in, before it moved to... did it move to Emerald? Maybe it didn't. So yeah, I've not actually ever read the whole thing. And I know Dynamic Dylan is probably going, what? Because I know he loves Love Stage. But I've never actually finished reading Love Stage all the way through. So this is actually going to be really good. And I'm really pleased that I'll be able to read some of the physical titles in my collection that I have been putting off. So yeah, very happy about this. Now I can start with Love Stage Volume 1. I know it's not going to take me very long. Oh, a bit of smakesiness there. I have watched the anime as well, but it might be quite good to read this whole thing and then watch the anime too. The weather's quite nice, but I will probably not be going out anywhere because it is cold. And I had to bring the bin in because it's Friday the 21st today. I am reading my 12 and 12, which is 12... titles recommended by 12 mutuals, 1 a month. And I've been reading this week Jen Does the Things recommendation of the Magpie Lord series. And I'm almost finished. I've got 1 more to do. I was going to vlog it, but, well, I didn't. Well, I kind of did. I started, but I didn't really vlog very much. I realised that, I have realised that actually my life is just what did you eat yesterday, because all I do is read things and show you food. That is my life. I read, boys love, male romance, and I'm talk about food. That's brilliant. That's my life. It's not great. Go for walks in the cold. I do have my big pile here. I'm looking forward to actually doing this, but I think I will do this and take my time, really, and don't rush. Take like a whole week to do it. So like maybe 1 a day, because it is 7. So if I start today and do 1 a day, and then I'll be finished next Friday. Volume 1 today. Anyway, I hope Katie is doing well, and I hope she has a good time reading her Love Stage as well. Good morning. It is Saturday the 22nd. I was going to talk about Love Stage Volume 1, which I read last night, and then just move on to Volume 2 today, but I slept in, had a nice long lie, and I kind of need to go to the shops first. So I think I'll just take you guys along with me. I might pop into a few charity shops or thrift shops, because I like that. See if there's anything interesting. I will talk about this when I get back. So let's go for a wee wander. Just in the door, and I've got a wee Blackwell parcel, so I'll show you what I got. Ooh. Once I've put my shopping away. But this is good. Yay! Yeah, I got something. Well, here it is. I have something else as well that I got. Oh, I don't think it's gonna work. I've got no nails. There we go. Anyway, I have now decided that if I buy anything, I need to read it within a few weeks. Like, I actually want to read it the week I get it. And because this has arrived today, ta-da, I really need to read it this week or next. Oh, it's actually this week. Melting Lover. And brand new, fantastic. It is a Kuma Publishing. And they just do some fantastic quality. I'm just really impressed. And when this came out, I knew it was one that I thought I'd probably be interested in. And they gave away a few free chapters online. And I read the first couple of wee chapters that they gave away free. And I thought, okay, that's something I'd want to. But guess how much I got this for? Ooh, so it's Kuma. So it's great quality. Got it from Blackwell's. I was a little bit too excited and I ended up buying it even though I'm not supposed to. £5.99. It's like, what is this? 2019? Oh, we laugh because, haha, in the UK anyway, to get a manga, brand new, lovely quality, really good one, for less than £6, brand new, really difficult. So when I saw that this one was £5.99, I think this is like a 2019 release. I think so. Is it 2019 or 2020? Anyway, I'm very happy. I got a really good deal for it. And it gets added to my collection. Let's see, where did I put my other one? And this one to read, because my plan is that if I buy it, I read it. And I read it ASAP. So I need to read both of these as well as go into volume 2. So yeah, and I noticed I still haven't talked about volume 1. I have thoughts and feelings. So yeah, so I have a bit of reading to do, and I'll read these in here as well. But I'm thinking, do I want to read these before Monday? I mean, it's Saturday today, so I've got a bit of time. And I was thinking of just like one of these a day. So technically, this is my like TBR for today, Saturday, which is not terrible. Look at that! It was an £8.99 purchase. I wonder if I got it in Forbidden Planet. It looks like a Forbidden Planet sticker, which means I probably got it as part of a deal. So I don't feel so bad because it was probably only about £6, same price as that. So I do think if I'm going to buy manga now, I will have to buy from an actual store and like new releases, I mean, and get the 3 for 2 deals. So I think I'm going to have to end up visiting family in towns and cities that actually have a store that does deals, because Waterston do not. So yeah, this is my TBR for today. I need a cup of coffee because I just got back from the shops. I need to put my shopping away. I haven't done that yet, and I'm kind of hungry, so I might have something to eat as well. So before I have something to eat, I thought I would just talk about volume 1 that I finished yesterday. I think there's an element of nostalgia there because I did read it quite some time ago, and I used to read it in CL. I think it was CL. This particular one was published 2015, but there is and I think I should show this because this is something that I talk about when it comes to Candy Color Paradox. This is Adrian Beck, and unfortunately in 2015 or even since then, Adrian Beck has used translations that Sublime are like, yeah, that's fine, and I'm not okay with it. It's near here. There it is. This particular phrase that Shogo's using here is not one that I find acceptable. So once again, it's like, no. I really don't like seeing this. I know it's different in America than it is in the UK, but this is really inappropriate language. And I don't want to see it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel angry. And, you know, I'm not happy to see it. I'm not happy to see it. And it's once again another Adrian Beck translation. And this just makes me feel disappointed that people in, you know, a large manga publisher think this is acceptable. It's just not. It's not. I have issues with this, okay? I've had issues with it for a while and it keeps popping up. There are so many other ways to write this sentence out, and yet that's the word they're gonna choose. And this has gone through not just one person's, you know, hands. This has gone through multiple people's, you know, checking and editing, and still, hey, that's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. So yeah, it's kind of annoying once again to see that kind of thing. So anyway, Love Stage, if you don't know, it has Izumi and Ryoma are the two main characters. I definitely don't. It's lovely, very nice publication, you know, nice drawings. That's the one thing I have to say. The artwork is stunning in this. It's very, very nice. Iki Taishizao. They wrote it, and the drawings, oh, lovely, really nice, great, competent manga. Very nice. The actual story though, I mean, it sounds funny, but there's definitely bits in it that I'm like, ooh, not great. Izumi is berated for his otaku-ness, the fact that he is a normal appearing person, because he's in a family of entertainers, and they kind of make fun of him. I feel like he needs therapy. This is not good. Like, they just go on about how, you know, terrible he is and all this stuff because he's not Shogo, because he's not their dad, because he's not their mum, because he's not in the entertainment industry, because he's just wanting to go to college and he's got his dream to become a mangaka, which obviously they're going to have to do something about that because, you know, he's terrible at drawing. But they go on about how awful he is, and at least they address that at the end about why he's the way he is, because he has been spoiled. Izumi as a character as well is not the most likable character, and Ryoma, who is his love interest, who forced them all to attend this, you know, 10-year anniversary commercial, seems like a nice guy up until the point he realizes he's been duped, and this beautiful young woman, Izumi, who he just asked out, is actually a guy, and then he uses, I'm sure that in the Japanese it was a really awful phrase. I remember thinking, oh, that's not so good, when he says something, here it is, you twisted pervy drag queen. Yeah, no, it's not nice, and I'm pretty sure that the term used in the Japanese was okama, which is not nice either. Overall, there's some issues with this. I always hated Shogo as the character in here. And I know that Shogo, the brother, who's in, what is it called? Breakers or something? Oh yeah, and he assaults him. He sexually assaults him. I mean, Jesus Christ. Shogo, I never really liked. But I have to say, he is best boy in this, because he's not scheming like Rei in that respect to try and get Izumi to go into the entertainment industry. He wants to protect his younger brother. He loves his younger brother. He doesn't say negative things about him like his parents do. I'm having a bit of a, like, this kid was just this child, because he's only like 18, come on. He was just sexually assaulted. And they're like, get up and just deal with it. Off you go. Oh, and sexual assault is no big deal. Like, what the fuck? Honestly, like, reading this 10, what is it, 5? I must have read it in, like, when was this originally published in CL? I'm wondering. This was published 2011, so this is like 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, things like, I don't know, therapy and bullying within the family. Hey, I just having a bit of an issue. The fact that sexual assault within the entertainment industry, especially to minors, is also a big thing. like we've moved on in 10 years. This one not so much. So I have issues with this first volume. I don't know if I'm gonna like this series. Ryoma has not painted himself as a very good main character, and Katie, when she mentioned that, I was like, oh, was he so bad? Was he so bad? And then it's like, yes, he's really bad. he pretended to be a good guy. Izumi is a spoilt brat, but he's also an innocent and pure and just wants to have a normal life. So Shogo, who's his, brother, seems like he's the most, I can't say the most down to earth, but the most, like, grounded in terms of how the appropriate reaction is for situations. Even though he's the one that's, like, completely over the top. That originally when I read it, I was like, oh god, he's so annoying. He's so over the top. No, actually Shogo's the one that I most identify with in this one. So yeah, I'm gonna have something to eat, and volume 2. So I've just been filming my weekly wrap up, and I'm on volume 3, but I haven't spoke about volume 2 yet. So I have to say that when it comes to volume 2, I feel like this is kind of a redemption volume, because the characters start to get fleshed out a bit more. You get to know their motivations. You can see that Ryoma has quite obviously dealt very, very quickly with his bisexual awakening. His bisexual panic didn't last very long. Oh no, a man? I have feelings for a man, but he's so freaking cute. And then it's like, fine, I want to fuck you. It's basically what happens. Izumi seems to be kind of like asexual in a way. He doesn't really have sexual feelings. Maybe he's demisexual, because he doesn't seem to exhibit any desire for anyone, or desire for romance or physical affection, until by the end, we get to near the very end, when he's like, am I in love? You do get a little bit more of the other characters as well, and obviously the manga sort of subplot of helping him and him staying at Ryoma's. So it is kind of like there's little bits of redemption here and there. I still kind of feel like this is kind of a weird manga in terms of like him saying, where is it right at the end when he's going on about that they raised him, kind of like his Oni-chan is more like his dad and Rei is more like his mum, because his parents just weren't really around. And it's like, yeah, not so great. Not so great. But I suppose that's what happens in these kinds of families. Anyway, volume 2 was actually quite good and I did enjoy it. So I am on to volume 3, but it is getting quite later on in the day. It's kind of like 3:30 or something, but I think I want to go out and go for a bit of a walk or something, get some exercise. But it might get dark soon, so I'm gonna go for a wee quick walk. So it is Monday the 24th. Yes, Monday the 24th today, and I only just kind of started this yesterday. I didn't actually get too far with it. What have I done today? Done a bit of work today. my computer is so slow. I uploaded a video. I just had a cat visit me. Scared the bejesus out of me because I had my door open and it's so dark outside. I just turned around and saw this little white, like, mini ghost at the door. It's so cute, and it does come and visit me sometimes, and I just like give it a wee pet, and it likes to just. So today was the first day it came in the house. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and see if I can get on a bit more with Love Stage. Volume 3 I want to finish, and maybe get into Volume 4 as well. I've made one of my favourite dinners, which is chicken with sweet corn and mashed potato with a special like lemon and garlic gravy. So good. So I'm gonna have a wee bit of my dinner, probably do the dishes, and I've done some washing today, so I feel productive in that respect as well. And do a bit of, finish off some editing that I need to do for a different video this evening. And also listen to an audiobook that I just purchased, even though I said I wasn't going to. I did, because I have extra credits on Audible, so I did purchase Charlie Sunshine. I know. Anyway, so I've had my dinner and I'm in the middle of editing and getting a video exported. And I just was like, right, okay, get this done. You're only a few pages in. I was only a few pages in when I stopped. I don't know. Like, I know that Volume 2 was kind of more of a redemption arc for the whole thing. And I do think it's good that Izumi is making this choice, but I kind of feel like he doesn't really want to, except as a means to, I don't know, broaden his horizons. Also, like, it kind of feels like he's being forced into it, and this whole thing with the dressing up, and then, you know, and Ryuma's just, once again, stealing kisses. I mean, did he not learn his lesson? It's called assault. I mean, seriously. And then the whole thing of, this was quite a funny panel. I did enjoy this panel here when he's like, we're just friends. And they all go, their faces are so cute. I'm shipping these two old men. Don't they just look the cutest? Cute old men. But then he's like, oh, we're just friends. And then he says, like, Izumi and I can't be together and get married like you hoped. You see, he's a boy. Pfft. Like, nowadays, in any other country, well, not in any other country, obviously, but in many other countries, that would not be a reason. He's a boy! Like, dun dun dun! And they end up together anyway, so this, I know this makes such a, it's a mockery of the whole situation. Let's have a huge big press conference to state something that should not be necessary to state, or true or accurate. Which annoys me. But also, great entrance, Izumi. Love it. And nice style. I style desu. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on with, he is very pretty. I really like how Izumi looks. But yeah, it's just little things. I don't know if it's because I'm feeling negatively towards this in general. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's the whole... No, don't know. Anyway, I'm going to carry on, because I know it gets better. Okay, but it literally is like the next page, and I'm looking respectfully at his very shiny nipples. I mean, they look very shiny. Is it just me? It's not just me, right? Looking respectfully at a teenage boy. I do like this aspect of Izumi. He's so proactive. As soon as he's made his decision about something, he just, like, goes for it. And he's kind of already decided that he likes Ryuma. So he's doing his research. And the main aspect is the sexual aspect. Does it hurt or does it not? And he wants to know. That's his main concern. Like, out of everything that's going on, he seems to have gotten over the whole, oh, is it love? oh, is it okay for me to love a boy? No, he just goes straight for the, does it hurt when we fuck or not? I also like the fact that for his research he got the top 100 list, which is really good because I do, what is it? Kono bieru ga yabai? Or kono bieru ga sugoi? I think it's yabai. It's like the book that usually would have some sort of Nakamura Asumiko character on the front for many years, and you would buy it and you would get to see what the year's review would be of the best top selling. You'd get all that kind of information from it. It's really actually great in terms of manga studies. And I did enjoy going into anime and being like, oh, there it is, this year's one, and finding out some great titles. I do have several of them, but I haven't bought one for, oh gosh, nearly about 8 years now. 7 or 8 years I haven't bought one. So, yeah. And he does make a very good point, the fact that in many BL, it just slides on in there. No issue. And did they use lube? Did they use lube? They very rarely discuss the importance of lube. And so I do like that aspect in this one. They do kind of turn all of these aspects of life that's presented in a BL on its head. It's like, could this actually happen? No. So we're going to make fun of it. So it's kind of self-deprecating in a way, which I do think is good commentary on manga in general and BL specifically. It is now after midnight. It's still up. It's still loading up. But never mind. It's gonna take a wee while. I don't know if I should just stay down here waiting for it. And just read the next volume now that I'm in the groove. This was quite the quite the volume. A lot happened. There was, you know, oh, am I in love? Straight through to the last the last panel, which is indicative of his state. I do like Ray in this one because, you know, he has, I mean, it's a great look, isn't it? He's so funny and he's just so protective. And that was quite sad. He lied to him and he feels slightly betrayed in a way, or it's expected, and he'll know it's expected because he's the mum. The mum and dad. And I like how he can manipulate Shogo so easily. It is quite good. So yeah, I might just read a bit of volume 4 and go to bed because this video is taking a while to upload. I'll have a drink of water, get ready for bed, put my pajamas on, and then start with volume 4. So I'm a little bit behind, but hopefully I'll manage to get this finished by the weekend. So it's only another 4 volumes, so I should be able to. So it is Tuesday. I did not get this read this morning. I'm just going to take a bit of time during lunch to do a little bit of filming for one of my videos. It's like completing collections, something like that. So I have a big pile over here. I'm going to analyse that. And then while I'm doing that, I'm just going to have a wee read of Love Stage. But first, I think I need coffee. So I have just been filming the video that I was talking about. I'm also about to start filming another video where I put all of the stuff back where it's supposed to be. This is everything that I bought. Anyway, it's part of a video. I have only got a little way into this volume because I was busy doing all of this. But it's quite interesting to see that when there's an issue with sex, there's misunderstanding, but then they work it out and they're quite happy with each other. So this is quite good. And they've just started the new kind of aspect of this series, which is Izumi's career, because I think that's actually quite a large portion of this whole series is about him going through development. I would say Love Stage is all about his development, and he's already had a sexual revolution, so now he's having a professional one. So I'm looking forward to reading that aspect, I think, more. It might still be a bit problematic, but still. But I'm going to try and tidy up first, because I will not be able to go to bed tonight with all of these. And then I can take this extra blanket off. So I finally got everything a bit more tidy and all my books away. It took me forever. And I'm absolutely knackered and starving, and I can't decide what I want to eat for dinner, so I'm just sitting on my bed instead and reading this. It was like in the back of my head, I was like, oh, this producer guy comes and he's a bit of a sleaze, and I'm like, yes, he is. I was like, is that right? Did I remember correctly? I did. I remember correctly. He's a right perv. And once again, Izumi gets attacked and sexually assaulted. I mean, we're just going to gloss over that? What? I mean, at least Ryoma's like, no, he's a perv. Don't work with him. He sexually assaults people. He sexually assaulted me. But they don't specify it in such blatant terms. They're like, oh, he can't help himself. I'm like, yes, he fucking can. But I just thought this was hilarious, because as this is the last panel in this chapter before they go into chapter 18, so chapter 17, Izumi's just been attacked. Ryoma's burst in and now has to protect Izumi, and there's Izumi in the background with his jacket on, and just a wee gratuitous nipple poking through, and it's like the nipple saying, "Ryoma." The way that his position, and you know, Eiki and Taishizao did that on purpose. You know they did. There was no need. Like, he covered him with his jacket. He could have just been hidden a bit more. His head could have poked out just the same. They could have had that jacket just slightly over so that you didn't need to see this gratuitous nipple. So shiny. Saying, Ryoma. I mean, it is kind of funny. The whole sexual assault thing in show business, in the entertainment industry, not funny at all. Not funny at all. But a gratuitous nipple shot, always appreciated. Thanks. So yeah, I'm gonna go into chapter 18 now, and I really do think I need some food. And I probably should get refreshed, because I feel gross after hiking all those books all over the place and then going through the drawers and putting everything back in the drawers. So I'm feeling very bleh. So I think I'm gonna have a bit of a break, get cleaned, and put some fresh clothes on, and make something nice. I think I will roast that butternut squash, just because it needs to be eaten, and I want some nice hearty soup. The wind has really picked up. It's really, really bad outside. I was going to go for a late walk and maybe pop in the shops, but I don't know if I will, so I think I might just eat what I've got in the house. And it was really, really grey, but because the wind's picked up, the clouds have kind of been blown away a bit, so there's a bit of blue sky, so there's a bit more sunlight than there was earlier. It was so grey, I was like, I don't even know if I can use any of this footage that I'm shooting. So hopefully I can. I don't know, we'll see. I might do some editing later on tonight. So food and clean clothes, make myself feel nicer, and then we can go on to chapter 18. So I don't know how it happened, but it's now like 6 o'clock in the evening or something. But I have made the most delicious soup. It's super spicy and very warm and rich. I did roast my butternut squash. It's got onion and chili and garlic and lots of spices, and I've roasted it all up. So it's actually vegan, I guess. But I'm pairing it with some ham sandwich, so it's not vegan anymore. I forgot I had some ham in the fridge, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be okay. But when I opened it, it was fine. So it was actually really tasty. So I was like, oh, fantastic. So yeah, a wee ham sandwich to dip in. I'm not going to read my book just now while I'm eating. I'll wait until I'm finished and I've had a cup of tea and put the heating on and stuff. I'm going to listen to an audiobook. Yes, an audiobook. I caved and I got the Charlie Sunshine book, so I'm listening to that at the moment. I said I wasn't going to, and I did. But I'm really enjoying it. Joel Leslie is great, and it's a really good story. So yeah, my sandwich and soup. The soup is really good. I'm very happy. This is going to be really nice and tasty tomorrow as well. Well, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm not feeling very good this week. I'm actually in like indoor soft clothing and feeling very sorry for myself. It's Wednesday already. What? This should have taken me no time at all. I wonder how Kitty's getting on. I'll send her a message as well. Anyway, some vitamins and maybe a cup of tea. And a bit more reading today. So I just finished volume 4 and Izumi's doing really well. Acting prodigy. I like how all of the people have like a really funny expression that's so shoujo with the whole white eye. When he's going on about how he's never acted before, but then starts to describe all of the things that his mum made him do, and when he was a kid having to read lines and stuff. But then Ryoma, being Ryoma, ends up coming in and being a douche. And Izumi, 100%, I'm 100% in support of Izumi here. He's like, no, he's a jerk. And even this little extra, which is like supposed to be between chapter 16 and 17, he's just so like against being topped, which, yeah, I can kind of understand, you know, if that's not your thing, but it's like saying you don't like a certain type of food without even trying the food. You know, it's like so childish. Like, oh no, I don't like olives. I was like, oh, did you try them and not like them? No, I've never tried them. Well, then how do you know that you don't like olives? You know, how do you know you don't like being topped? But to be fair, he doesn't want it. But he's not vocalizing any of that. He's just being a bit of a douche again. And the whole thing is, you know, if you're in a relationship, you need to have dialogue. You need to talk about these things. So their sexual compatibility or incompatibility, is that even a word? Incompatibility? Compatibility? I don't know. Anyway, if Izumi has the desire to top, that's part of who he is as a person. Just because he, you know, is the cutie pie, just because he is a wee sweetheart and has very shiny nipples, does not mean that he, you know, has to deny a part of his sexuality, which involves the desire to top. So Ryoma is being very selfish in that respect, because he's not talking about his own feelings on the matter, and he's not engaging in conversation with Izumi about it either. So thus denying him. I don't know. It's taken me ages to even get to volume 4, and I've read all of this already. Like, I read most of this in Japanese. I think it was up to this point that I have them in, I think it was CL rather than the trade tray. I think it was CL volumes. So I know all of this point. I'm like, I'd forgotten how bad Kisaragi was, but that's probably because later on he's not that bad, or at least not that bad up to this point. So I don't think I've actually read volume 5. Maybe I've read a bit of volume 5. I'm pretty sure that I've read a little bit of it in Japanese. So yeah, maybe like halfway through volume 5 is where I got to my original time I read it. So I haven't read probably volume half of volume 5, volume 6 and volume 7. Anyway, it's taken me ages because I keep getting distracted by other things, and also because I just don't like Ryoma as a character. I like Izumi, but I can't really warm to their relationship. Anyway, I'm complaining. I'm gonna make something to eat because even though I'm still have a sore stomach, I feel like I need to eat something. Maybe I won't have bread. Maybe I'll just have salad and something like that. Less carbs, maybe. And then read volume 5. I need to get some of it done today because I am very behind. So I've made myself a nice, hopefully healthy salad without any bread or anything. I've got a little bit of my Japanese sesame dressing for the salad and then some tuna and egg. So the next volume I'm going to read is volume 5. Feels nice, very nice. Fancy inserts. I do like the colour insert as well. So yeah, I'll give this one a wee read while I have something to eat. Oh, the salad was good. I feel a bit better now after the salad. And I've got the kettle on for a cup of tea. There's a couple of things in this. Obviously this volume we have... it's actually like chunky. There's a lot in this volume. Like when they start off with the falling out, it feels like ages ago. And the whole hypnotized thing, and then Izumi trying to be a seme, and then him sexually assaulting Ryoma, but then Ryoma being like Ryoma, like he was at the start, like, oh, you're a man, and you're like, dude, you like dick. But the way that he reacted was like, oh, you know, I can't believe you did that. And it's like, well, you did it as well, dude. So you can't talk, really. You got a leg to stand on. And then, of course, the falling off of the cliff moment, which seemed really fast. I remember when I read it in Japanese when it was coming out, obviously this was like a monthly or bi-monthly. I think it was bi-monthly. So it felt like, oh, this was a really big episode when they were at the cliff edge and he fell off, and then you're like, you have to wait 2 months to find out what happens next. So I don't know if I had read this bit when they're in the, I don't know, the little hut. And then this bit as well, I don't remember any of this, so this is new, I think. And that's his friend Kuroi, who I love. Like, I want more of Kuroi. And also, what's his name? Sao Tome. Miyabi Sao Tome. So yeah, he obviously has a thing for Kuroi. Which is quite funny. Like this bit here, when he's going on about it. And I was like, I want this story. What's going on there? Like, what's going on there? Let's have some more. Kuroi's just super cute, isn't he? I don't know. Like, dark hair and dark glasses. Dark hair and dark glasses, boys. We love them. We love them. And then he's just happy because he's got his friend. So that was a nice way to end volume 5. So I'm fair racing on through. So I should probably, you know, now that I'm on a roll, I should probably just see if I can get volume 6 out and give that one a start as well. But I'm gonna have some jelly first. Jelly! So yeah, this is a good volume. There were still bits in it that I was like, meh. Ryoma still is not my favourite character. Izumi for sure is the best. Especially feel my love, as the fancy seme character. He's so funny. That's how he imagines himself to be. But there's bits of it that I like, and there's bits of it that I'm just like meh about. I don't know, so I'm still undecided about how I feel. So the last 2 volumes are gonna be like make or break for the series. for me anyway. Like, whether I put it down as a good series or a not good series. Like, honestly, it's okay as it is now, but like, would I want to spend ages reading the whole series again? No, not really. Then it's kind of like, well, it just gives it a rating. So I'm concerned about what volume 6 and 7 has in store. Anyway, jelly! So it's a little bit later on, I'm ready for my dinner, but I've actually managed to start volume 6, which I'm really happy with, because I finished volume 5. And I've got to Act 27, so the whole acting thing, you won't really be able to see it, that's a wrap. They finished. Yay! Literally, yay! So they're back. All of this is new. I did not see the end of how the falling off the cliff nonsense was resolved. So full. Like, literally everything is nonsense. The whole hypnosis is nonsense. They're nonsense. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Anyway, going forward, I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what's coming. So I feel like I should maybe just like read this and film it, and then give live reactions of me going, Jesus Christ. Because that's what generally happens. I'm like, what the hell? That's what's happened so far. So yeah, I feel like maybe live reading session, and then just speed up when I'm not actually saying anything and there's no reaction. So you get the real proper reaction. Anyway, for dinner tonight, I am having my butternut squash. Yeah, it was butternut squash spicy soup. It is quite spicy, and a salad with some tuna and ham and egg. So it's kind of like my lunch, same again, but with some warm soup as well. I'm going to try and stay away from the carbs. Hopefully that'll be good. I will continue with Act 27 and onwards after I've had a good hearty meal, and we'll see what my reactions are. So I just read through the end of volume 6 and realised I didn't even make a peep of a sound the whole time, except I've just opened it at the right page, except this one point where I went hee. That's my laugh. Why does the glasses character not need glasses? Because, you know, like, obviously like, these are the two main characters, and then you've got Rei and Shogo, and Rei's the glasses character called Rei. I can't say it's all that interesting. Anyway, they went to go to the cinema, and then they met Sensei, and then he gets to be an assistant, but Ryoma turns up as well, and Izumi's terrible, because we all know he's terrible, and Ryoma's brilliant. I do have to admit that he'd made them food and all this, but this panel, where is it? When he's drawn the Metropolitan Government Building, I actually feel really sorry for them as artists, manga artists, because they would have had to actually draw this, and it's kind of like a running joke, and it was a joke that they made in World's Greatest First Love as well, is that sometimes manga artists are like, oh, and I'll have an image of such and such in the background, but then they actually have to go to make it after the proofs have been like approved, and then they're like, oh shit. Like, I have to have the government building. It's notoriously difficult to draw, and of course Clamp have it in like loads of their work. So these kind of get-arounds is to actually use, in the olden days, photographs, and they would actually go out and they'd take a photograph of it, and they would use photographs that they had taken, because if they used someone else's, it would technically be copying and copyright and all that kind of stuff. So that was a funny moment, because it reminded me of other manga, but also kind of it's tongue-in-cheek, that, you know, self-reverential. And this bit as well, when Izumi's only, you know, saving grace is that when he dresses up as Lala Lulu, he looks fantastic and he can strike all the poses and look perfect. And so that's his only use, really. Anyway, the story so far, they've got to the point where they've set up the possibility of a stalker, and Izumi's gone to go live with Ryoma. That's how it's ended. So, spoilers, by the way. It's full of spoilers. And then all this bit at the end is just Shogo and Rei stories about the glasses and about going out for fun and going to the shrine and having smexy times. And I do enjoy Rei and Shogo as a couple more. I still think there's a slight power imbalance, but I like them because they're adults, whereas Izumi and Ryoma, I feel like they're what, 18? 19? 20? Something like that? I don't know. I'm much more interested in the beautiful man and his very stupid lover, who also happens to be. What I really do like about it is the fact that, who is it? Is it Eiki Eiki or is it Taishi Zao's? One of these mangaka. One of them comes from a very famous family. So, like Senna family, she comes from a family of like government politicians and famous people. They've got fancy house. She basically lives Izumi's life. So this is kind of autobiographical, which is funny in itself because everyone's like, ha ha ha, but actually, like, the whole trying to become a mangaka as well, but you're rubbish at drawing. Like, this is semi-autobiographical. They worked really hard, but they weren't always a great artist. Like, they're fine now. They just don't happen to be a male character. They're a real woman, and they have a real brother who is in a band who, you know, is famous and got really like lots of fans and things like that. So there is the fact that in the anime they get the guy to voice Shogo is her actual brother, because he was an actor as well. He was in a few things I watched. So yeah, I like Shogo and Rei, and I also like the fact that as a mangaka she made her brother, her older brother, a gay character in a relationship with a man in her manga, and he was like, cool, can I do the voice in anime? Like, totally fine with it. So there are some good points about Love Stage, things I like about it, but it's not necessarily the story itself. So yeah, so I guess there's only one more. Oh, I'm so tired. Only one more volume, but as you could hear, I'm exhausted and tired. So it is Thursday the 27th. I was thinking, oh, maybe I could get this read yesterday, but I was way too tired. So I'm going to start today with some sunshine. Well, it's start today's reading. It's like in the afternoon now, so it was raining all morning, and now the sun has come out and it is blinding, and I'm going to be like a cat and just curl up in the sunspot and read for a bit. Final volume. It has taken me all week. Literally started on the Friday. It is Thursday now, so it was like one volume a day it's taken to get to this stage. This love stage, if you will. Sorry. Anyway, nice colour insert. Lovely, lovely. Where were we? Something was like maybe a stalker? I don't know. So I only have one more volume. I was going to go out to the shops first of all, before I did all of this reading, and I was gonna take you along, but honestly I'm like, nah, I know I have to leave the house tomorrow to go to the shops. Still, the the Rona's about, so I try to avoid people. I mean, I try to avoid people anyway. But, yeah, just in general. Was gonna do stuff, have actually decided, no, I'm gonna read this, get it finished, and then maybe actually put it up tomorrow. I have a couple of videos ready to go on my channel, already made. So I was gonna put them up, but if I get this finished, I could edit this up and put it on my channel instead. And that seems like a much better use of my time, if I'm honest. So yeah, let's get this read. I can't say I'm looking forward to it. Can you tell? Can you tell? Anyway, let's do this. So it's quite interesting, this particular volume so far, we've got them living together, and then Kuroi and Izumi having a good chat about bumsmecks, which is always good to hear. I like Kuroi. He is my favourite character out of the whole series, really, because he's like normal. His reactions are also pretty normal and kind of like, I don't want to get involved. Don't talk to me if I need to. And there's obviously this stalker, and Ryoma's involvement in the mangaka assistant job got found out by his boss. And it seems like someone is listening in at work. Okay, so they've obviously put like a pin in it in terms of the stalker plot, and are now focusing once again, on the sexual dynamics of the main couple. And I'm unsure of what the point of this is. I mean, I now know that they've brought it up again, so there must be a point. So I'm wondering if the authors are, I don't know, making some sort of commentary on the sexual gender, like heterosexual gender norms that are ascribed to traditional BL, and how outdated that is, and they're exploring that as an issue, or that they're actually sort of reconfirming these gender norms and stereotypes in a very sort of toxic way. I'm not sure what they're getting at. And then they make flippant commentary like, where did he say this? I never knew it could be this frightening to have someone stare at my ass all the time. Is this what women deal with on an everyday basis? Like, I don't know, like, what is this? What is this? What are they trying to say? Oh, hey, misogyny in Japan, we deal with it. Oh, and also, I'm dealing with it as a man. Wow. This is terrifying. Is this what women feel all the time? Like, terrified? I don't know. Maybe. So I'm wondering I'm wondering where this is going. I'm wondering how this is going to end up being resolved and or not resolved. And I'm scared. I'm literally scared because I'm like, am I going to yeet this final volume across the room, or am I going to be like, good for you, good for you? I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go, because this whole thing of not actually discussing sexual preferences with your sexual partner, the whole lack of communication is not a trope in any kind of literature that I particularly enjoy. Yeah, so it's tiring. I'm tired. I'm old. Old and tired. I'm too old for this shit. If you don't like something, you don't like something, you say it. If you see something, say something. You know, it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of like, right, get back to the stalker. I'd rather read about that. Or Kuroi. I'll have a whole volume of just him. going about his day-to-day life. Anyway, this is interesting, but I'm wondering where it's going. So they have whatever left of this volume to sort their shit out before I put this whole series on the blacklist. Okay, I'm like 2 pages later, and this is what Rei's saying. For all his petite size and cute looks, Izumi can be quite aggressive when he wants something. Like, breathe. But I doubt Ryoma's pride will make it easy for him to submit to that position in bed, I swear to God. Like, there are bossy bottoms. There are toppy bottoms. There are bottoms who want to bottom. It doesn't mean anything other than that's a sexual preference. Like, what? Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I mean, yes, traditionally in society, but also no, like, this is 2022. Why am I reading this shit? God, I hope this gets sorted out to some degree, because there's been far too many sentences and blanket statements made throughout this whole series that I've just been like, what the fuck are they talking about? This is 2022! And it's just kind of feeling dated, which is crazy because, well, maybe it isn't crazy, because when this was first starting to be serialized, it's probably like well over 10 years now. So maybe, what a difference 10 years makes. Anyway, let's keep going. I think we're getting back to the stalker story. Thank God. Okay, so I've just ranted and raved and shouted and sworn a lot. Because I swear I'm about 2 seconds from throwing this volume. And I only need to read this much to finish it. Jesus! This is so annoying! I hate this. Once again, Izumi is assaulted sexually. And the whole, oh, I wonder if it could be the stalker. Of course it's the fucking stalker! Who else would do that? Ah! And then, of course, he's like, oh, the producer wants to see you. At that point, a proper manager would be like, we call the police in this shit right now. We get security cameras. Like, this is stupid. Oh, I cannot. Rei is a fucking idiot. You wouldn't leave your charge at that moment in time. You would say to the person who's like, hey, the producer wants to speak to you. Hey, get the fucking producer. If he wants to talk to me, he comes here because we've just had some issue. Like, security issue. Oh, Jesus. So annoying. Anyway, it looks like the stalker guy isn't actually the manager of Ryoma. So I don't know who it is. We haven't discovered that yet. Still some sort of surprise there. If it's just some random dude, there's not even a mystery. It's just like the stalker is a stalker. I'll be so annoyed. I'll be so annoyed. And anyone who's read it and is watching is going, yep. I hate that. I hate that. But yeah, once again, Izumi attacked sexually. I don't know. Like, if you count them in the series, I'm gonna count them. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm so angry. Oh, right, we'll finish this goddamn volume. This goddamn series. So close to just throwing this book. Okay, now I think Marilyn's in on this because that is well sus. If you say you had a rather unlucky accident, like, no, he was attacked. It's not an accident. You were lucky in the end getting off as lightly as you did. Like, don't worry about it, dude. It was just a little sexual groping. It's fine. Like, what? Who thinks this? Cheer up and don't let it get to you. Oh, don't worry about it. It's just a little sexual groping, you know. Don't worry about it. What? Who says this? Suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. I mean, ugh. And yet, Rei, it was like obvious that you were called away, and the producer didn't even want to see it. Like, that was not even in any way a surprise. See if I leave. Yeah, do your job. Do your job. Think properly. It's an actual stalker. Come on. Anyway, let's see how far I get before I start chucking another Raj. Like, I swear, this is like every 2 pages, I'm angrier and angrier. This is like the opposite of I Hear the Sunspot final volume where I cry every 10 pages. It's like every 2 pages, I get really mad. Anyway, it turns out Ryoma's run away. Like, that solves the problem. I have to just breathe and remember that it's okay, it's just a manga. It can't hurt you, it can just make you really angry. I mean, I'm feeling all the feels. It's just all the feels are anger and rage. And this whole thing, like, oh, Ray's gonna have to describe that, oh, maybe it's because you want to do something sexual to him that he's not prepared to engage in, but he's too much of a fucking coward to actually say that to you because he's a child and you're both children. Ah! Anyway, this is the point where I thought, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is when we're gonna get, you know, some sort of great epiphany on the sexual dynamics when Izumi says, we both love each other, right? Isn't that something normal for 2 guys in love to do? Like, he's just like, oh, I thought this is how the relationship is, because they've never actually discussed it. And then Ray says, I did a little research into that question and I'm like, I'm not turning this page. I'm not ready for these pearls of wisdom from these mangaka because I know it's gonna be bullshit. So ready to just yeet. Okay. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna turn the page. Let's see. How bad is it? Right. Well, it seems there are quite a few men who say they'd be okay being in a homosexual relationship if they were the top. They would never consider being the bottom. Really? No way. In fact, in the BL world. Why is this the BL world? Oh, I know I'm reading a BL, but this should be based in some sense of reality. Right, I'm gonna read this. I'll get back to you when I'm over my rage. Well, I might see you next week. Honestly, I think I just should be having the camera on me at all times as I'm reading, because every single sentence that's uttered is problematic. I need to just rage against it. Okay, so first of all, they switch, and I know this is tongue-in-cheek and it's sort of like meta when they're going on about how reverse manga is generally unpopular with readers. This is Japanese readers, and this is back in 10 years ago. That's not the case just now. And also, I fucking love reversing manga. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. Is 2 people who discuss their sexuality and their sexual preferences are openly into providing things for their partner and are happy to do that and enjoy it and love the exploration. I'm like, great. Communication, sexual desire, fulfillment, and, you know, great relationships all round. If someone is like, I prefer this, I prefer that, great. That's what they do. You know, that's cool because they talk about it. Then they're even more meta when they say, oh no, are our sales gonna suffer? I was like, well, that is kind of funny. But also, like, would it then? Just, I don't think they really truly, maybe the world in Japan wasn't ready 10 years ago for, you know, bossy bottoms and toppy bottoms and topping bottoms and switches and reverses and whatever else. You know, maybe they weren't ready for that 10 years ago. Maybe they weren't. Maybe that internal homophobia, actual external homophobia, your homophobia is showing. It's like, and then the very next panel, when Izumi's like, I'll be stuck as a virgin for the rest of my life. There is a general understanding in BL, and I'm like, dude, you've had sex, you're not a virgin. If someone doesn't use their penis that they have, then they're a virgin. In fact, if they don't stick their penis in something, then they're a virgin the rest of their life. Even though they engage in sex in every other capacity, many different sex acts, they're still thought of as a virgin and they still talk about it like that. Like, that is bullshit! What are you talking about? I don't understand. And then Ray going, oh, there's places you can go for that? Like, yeah, don't worry about it. Soap lands are there, prostitutes are there, you know. What the hell? I mean, swear to fucking God. Oh, it's so ridiculous. You're not a virgin, Izumi. Sorry to break it to you, love. It's like engaging in sex acts doesn't make you, doesn't keep you there, you know. Jeez. Oh my God. I'm just right. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading on, and I'm gonna try not to update you every panel. So angry. If I've said it once, I'll say it 100 times. Kuroi is best boy. He is the only character that I love. So good. No, I've just decided no, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. I'm not having this. So angry. So someone is kidnapped, sexually assaulted, almost raped. Someone else is like blackmailed to try and be in a relationship with someone else. There are hooligans everywhere beating people up. And it's oh, sorry about that, and hey, you may be fired from the agency. Ah, we'll definitely punish her. We'll discipline her for good. But what? No. Sorry about that? No. You know, if sorry was all we needed, we wouldn't have the police. I'm so like, no, this is BS. This is BS. You don't just like, oh, take the person away. It's like, yeah, obviously if the police got involved, that would be a big issue. But at the same time, no, not good enough. The rage in me is saying, no, not good enough. And also, this manga is making me feel the rage. Anyway, let's see how it ends. I am so close to finishing. Thank fuck. Wait a minute, what? Is this it? But they didn't resolve it. Does that mean what? Are you gonna let him fuck you though? Are you gonna let him fuck you? Let's see. Yay! Yay! Okay, right. Well, I made it to the end. And honestly, thank God that's over with. I mean, I like this little thing of, hey, we're not gonna have anyone to keep the bloodline going. Should we just make another child? Because as parents, they are completely irresponsible, and that tracks. I like the two of them having their happily ever after. And this is kind of funny, but also so opportunistic. So opportunistic. Really makes a mockery of people's hard work and makes me angry about how if you're a celebrity, you get stuff. Whereas, you know, after reading this, all of my worries seem dumb. High school student, 16 years old. It really is. It's like, well, what's the point in that? And then this is the panel that pisses me off the most. Because it's Kuroi, and he's beautiful and lovely and a wonderful person. And it ends with, and last but not least, a new love was about to bloom. They didn't write anything else after this to do with Kuroi. As far as I'm aware, I checked. I tried looking. I'm like, does Kuroi have his own manga? Is it available in Japanese? I would maybe want to purchase that to read because he is best boy. And he is gorgeous and sweet and lovely. And also normal as heck. And and they didn't write anything, and I'm so mad. I'm so mad about it. And then I read their whole spiel about working on it, and it does sound like it was a pretty hard time to work on all of it for Aki Aki, but Taishizawa was just like, yeah, whatever. But what an awful, awful story. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for everyone who likes Love Stage because I hated it. Honestly, like, I cannot. I'm gonna go back and grade my stars on Goodreads because I was just like, fine, I'll give it like a 3 or a 4. No, they're not worth it. They're not worth it. This is maybe a controversial statement, but I did not enjoy Love Stage. I did not enjoy the sexual assault after sexual assault after sexual assault. I mean, do I want to go through the whole series and count how many there were? No, because there's too many. There's too many. And they started this in 2010, when even at that point it was like, sexual assault, funny, and the whole, you know, fixation on heteronormative gender roles. Like, you know, if you don't put your penis in someone's asshole or vagina, doesn't count as sex, and you're still a virgin? Like, what the fuck is that? Honestly though. I mean, I do remember reading it in Japanese when CL was coming out every 2 months. So yeah, it was a bi-monthly manga magazine that would come out, and I would read it, and I would read it in Japanese, and I would quite happily translate words and phrases, and it was easy for me to do so because they had the furigana. So I was following it along, and I was getting the freebie stuff, you know, because every edition of the manga you'd get something free. And so I do have like mini clear file folders and stuff. And when the anime came out, it was really big and everyone was all excited about it, and I watched the anime and I enjoyed the anime. It was fun and it was cute, but also it was kind of basic bitch kind of, you know, like, yeah, it was kind of like a generic kind of cutesy anime. But then they added in Aki Aki and Taishizawa as characters a lot, and I was like, I don't like these mangaka enough to forgive this nonsense. So yeah, my controversial opinion is that after this being started in 2010 and it's now 2022, and I did not enjoy this at all. It was not good. It's not good. So yeah, this is going on a list of manga that does not hold up a second time. And for me, this is volume 7 is the first time I'm reading it, because I didn't read volume 7. I didn't read volume 6. I got up to halfway through volume 5. And I know I had read a couple of the earlier volumes from Sublime as they'd come out. But nope. Not good. I need a cup of tea and some time to digest. Okay, so I've had a bit of time. I've made myself a cup of peach tea in my antiquarian mug. Like a normal ant, only more awesome. And I like this one because it does have the whole unicorn, and the unicorns are kind of like LGBT symbols. And Scottish symbols too. Unicorn is the national animal of Scotland, if you didn't know, because they're so real. Anyway, I've had a wee, like, sit down and chill and try and not be angry at what is obviously, like, I don't want to say this is a bad series. Like, is this the worst BL manga series ever? No, probably not. Probably not. but I can't say for sure because I haven't read them all yet. But it's definitely up there as one that is it the worst? I mean, the number of sexual assaults just got to me. Like, and I know that when I've talked about some comedy, BL, manga, there's sex comedy and then there's sexual assault as a joke. And because it's in a comedy, because it's in something that's slapstick and stupid and so completely wacky and way out there that you think, well, duh, this is so stupid. But do I even laugh at it? Personally, I don't really laugh at a lot of the jokes that's in comedy BL. Unless they're smart jokes. Unless the tone is correct. And the context and the tone is really important. Love Stage tries to be like a self-aware, like, oh, we're a manga, we know we're a manga, the characters are kind of semi-aware that it's a manga, you know, there's like in-jokes about this, Eiki and Taishi Zao making these in-jokes, but they're not just aware, they're like hyper-aware of their meta-ness to the point where they have chosen to do things as a commentary without actually fully engaging. It's like they've tried to be satire, but they haven't actually gone enough. They haven't gone further enough to make it real satire. It's still a cutesy story, but with some commentary that falls flat and in places is just homophobic or insulting. It's disturbing. There are many negative adjectives for this series because the tone is not really there. And I do remember this series with a sense of nostalgia and a fondness. And I remember watching the anime with fondness and thinking it was a cute, fluffy thing, but it was a little bit too cute and fluffy. And also they tried to make things a bit more slapstick in the anime. Whereas the manga, the slapstickness falls flat because it's in a 2D form, maybe because compared to the anime, which seems much more dynamic in movement sense. This really was a slog to get through all week, and I did not enjoy the process. I'm really glad that I've finished the series. I'm really glad that I did it as a buddy read and that I had Katie to spur me on to get it done, and we can help support each other in that. Because when you think of something that you read 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, and you think of like, oh yeah, I like that was okay. And then you start reading it again more than 10 years later and you're like, oh my god, what the hell is this? There's a definite sense of like, oh no, impending doom. And last year during 2021 there was definitely a sense of that because I was trying to read more of my collection, and these are older titles. This, like, Sublime is a newer title. I mean, it's not, because we still look at the date and it was from 2010. The first volume was starting to be serialized. So this is not that new of a series. And the ones that I've got in my collection are older and older and older. And I am not enjoying them, which makes me feel kind of really like, why have I collected all of these things? They're not good. And I know it was just because I wanted to collect the set of something rather than actually read and enjoy them. Because I'm glad I have this. I probably won't get rid of it. It will be in my collection. But there will be like a black mark against this name, you know? Love Stage. And then when I finally, and I know I'm probably going to at some point, get rid of my collection, because everyone has to get rid of their collections at some point. This will be like, yeah, first out the door. So, worst manga ever written as a series to get? No, definitely not. I can't say that. There's far too many worse ones out there. But it's definitely up there in terms of the disappointment, because in my mind going into this, I was like, oh, I don't know about this, because I remember enjoying it at the time, but the memory is tainted by remembering things of like, oh, hold on, didn't this person assault that character? And didn't that happen to that character? And didn't that happen to that character? I'm not sure how many times Izumi was assaulted. If during the editing process I feel like it, I'll put it on the screen, how many times he was assaulted, or how many times he assaulted Ryoma, because there was a couple. Like, I don't know, but passing out exhausted and waking up with your partner pulling your trousers off to expose your ass and being like, hey, let's do it, without any preamble, I mean, it's kind of like, maybe, personally, for me, that would be a no-go. I don't know. How do you guys feel about Love Stage? Is it your favourite? Are there elements to it that you dislike? Do you really enjoy it? Do you really enjoy it? Do you? Do you? I'm not judging, but I am judging. But that's the thing, like, is this nostalgia? Like, is this a nostalgia thing? Because for me, Junjo Romantica is kind of like a nostalgia thing. Like, I know it's objectively bad, but I still love it for many reasons. Mainly because of the emotional connection I have to it and how it helped me through a difficult period in my life. Like, Love is an Illusion, the fantastic webcomic that we're going to get in print. Like, there's assault in that. It's objectively bad. There are things in it that is objectively bad. But it really helped me get through a really emotional time in my life. So I love it for that reason. So if you love Stage for whatever reason, then I'm really happy for you, because it is beautifully drawn. The characters are stunning. The art is gorgeous. I'm very, very impressed with the art. The composition of the panels is very competently done. And they did create Kuroi. And so that's good. I love Kuroi. He's like best boy, definitely. Because there's no weird shit about him. He's in no way an ex-Yankee, or he's in no way a weird brother complex main singer of a band. He's not parents who have obviously in some form or another neglected and or abused their children. There's a lot of things going on in this manga that I did not remember very well. So yeah, was this the worst thing I've read so far this year? I think so. I can't think of anything bad that I'm like, oh my god, that was absolutely awful. Even in the Futekia, I'm like, yeah, no. Because, oh no, okay, it's not the worst thing. Don't worry about it, Love Stage, you're not the worst. Don't worry about it, not the worst. Not the worst. Because the art is stunning in this. It's bad, it's bad. I'm so sorry, Katie. To be fair, Katie was the one that chose this. I put it out there, even though I was like, please don't choose this, please don't choose this. She chose it. Sorry, Katie, I really should have been more honest and be like, I really don't want to read this. But I was being polite and be like, okay, I gotta read at some point. And the only way to get through this is to do it in a buddy read. So thank you, Katie, for being here for me. Yeah, this is all I'm going to talk about because I've talked about this series far too much. This is going to be a long video to edit. I don't know if it's going to go up when I want it to. Anyway, Love Stage. Don't recommend. Don't. I hope you're okay, Katie. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of this. If you have, I hope I've edited this down to a reasonable length. And yeah, I'm 365801, feeling like I am in need of some anger therapy, anger management therapy. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.